The cemetery was quiet except for the crunch of gravel under my shoes. They had all left, my stepfather first, smug as ever, tossing a mocking laugh over his shoulder. Your mother made sure the house went to me. Guess you'll have to. Find your own way now. His car disappeared down the hill, leaving me alone with fading leaves and a cold wind biting through my coat. I stood there, longer than I should have, waiting for the grief to settle, for the betrayal to stop stinging. It never did. Eventually, I turned toward the road. 10 kilometers to town. 10 kilometers to think. That's when the black car pulled up, glossy, silent. The window slid down with mechanical precision. A distinguished man sat. Inside, sharp suit, silver hair, eyes that carried a weight of decades. Are you Brittany Mays? His voice was low, deliberate. I froze. Yes, he studied me. The daughter of the woman who once saved my life. The world tilted. I didn't answer right away because my throat locked. My mother, quiet, stubborn, strong, had lived with secrets, but I never imagined they'd pull up beside me in a chauffeur-driven car. Get in, the man said, not as a command, more like an inevitability. I did because standing in that cemetery with nothing felt worse than trusting a stranger who seemed to know my name. The ride was silent for several minutes. I studied him from the corner of my eye. His ring caught the faint light, heavy with crest and legacy. His watch alone could buy the apartment I grew up in. Finally, I asked, how did she save your life? He smiled, small, private. 32 years ago, I was a reckless boy drowning in debts and enemies. Your mother, just a nurse, then pulled me out of a mess that should have ended me. She gave me more than first aid. She gave me a second chance. He paused. I never forgot. I felt a knot in my chest tighten. She'd never told me, not once. Instead, she married a man who treated her love like a bank account and left me with nothing. Back at the estate, yes, estate, he led me through marble halls into a library that smelled of leather and secrets. He gestured to a chair. Tell me what happened today. So I told him about my stepfather's laugh, the house, the humiliation of being discarded like a guest at my own mother's funeral. My voice didn't break. It sharpened. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, his answer was calm, almost surgical. Then it's time to even the scales. That night, for the first time in weeks, I slept not peacefully. Strategically, my dreams were maps of revenge. Over the next month, I worked quietly. Papers moved, signatures collected, old debts called in, because my stepfather hadn't just taken my mother's house. He had leveraged her name, her accounts, her trust in him to prop up his own failing empire. He thought grief would make me blind. It made me sharp. The man, my mother's forgotten savior, opened doors for me. Legal teams, investigators, brokers. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I signed. I executed, piece by piece. My stepfather's foundation began to rot. The confrontation came sooner than I expected. He stormed into the lawyer's office, face red, voice trembling. What is this nonsense about frozen assets? That house is mine. The lawyer barely looked up. Correction, it was Transferred under fraudulent conditions. Mrs. Ma's estate belongs to her. Biological daughter. He slid the papers. Across the desk, effective immediately. I sat across the table, silent. My stepfather's eyes snapped at me. Fury. Panic. The realization that the game was over. You little, he started. I leaned forward, voice steady. Enjoy your rented apartment. I heard the one-bedroom units downtown still take. Tenants with bad credit. If you hurry, you might get one near a bus stop. His mouth opened, closed, and finally stayed. Shut. For once in his life. He had no laugh left. That evening I walked through the house, her house. The wallpaper still carried faint traces of her perfume. The kitchen tiles held echoes of our late night tea. For a moment, I let the wave of it all wash over me. Then I opened the windows wide and breathed in the clean air of justice. The man visited again a week later. Same car, same calm smile. You handled it well, he said. I shrugged. He underestimated me. No, he corrected. Gently. He underestimated her for raising you. I stood at the doorway as he left. My mother's memory wrapped around me like armor. For the first time since the funeral, I didn't feel abandoned. I felt armed. Revenge isn't loud. It doesn't need fireworks or screams. Sometimes it's just a signature, a silence, and the look on a man's face when he realizes the house he bragged about was never his to keep. And as I stood in the place my mother built, I finally understood her last gift to me. Not the walls, not the roof, not the inheritance, the lesson. Never let betrayal go unanswered.